Hi, welcome to rentalleaseagreement.com. Here we're going to explain how to fill out a month-to-month lease agreement. We have three forms to fill out. There's a standard, a month-to-month, and a sublease. And so right now we're going to take a look at the month-to-month. Let's see here. Okay, here we are at the month-to-month lease agreement. If you purchase a lease agreement, this is what you will get in PDF format or Word, whichever one you prefer. You're going to get both. So let's take a look at the top here. This legal document represents a lease agreement to begin on, let's just say, June 1st, 2012. And to continue on a month-to-month basis. Landlord and tenant may modify or terminate this lease agreement at any time by giving, let's just say, 30 days, which is normal, 30 or 60. This lease agreement is between the landlord, so let's call him Luke Scott, with a mailing address of 230 East 25th Street in New York. Let's call the tenant Joe Smith. The landlord agrees to lease this premises located at, let's just say, the landlord and the tenant live in the same building. Make it easy. City of New York. State of New York. And this part right here, you're going to fill out the landlord agrees to include furnishings and appliances as described. So let's just say the landlord includes a washer dryer in the building. If there are any restrictions in the common area, let's just say this building has a rooftop and it's not completely safe, so we'll say the rooftop. Alterations in this section, either check you can or you cannot make alterations to the improvements in the building. So let's just say you can't. And then pets, let's say this building allows pets. The premises are to be used only as a private residence for the tenant, listed in Section 2 of this agreement, and the following minor children. So let's just say in this case, the tenant has no children. But if you were to have children, just list the names of the children in here. Occupancy by guests for more than, usually this is really not a big deal. But if so, let's just say if there's guests for more than 31 days, then there has to be a written consent of the landlord. The tenant shall pay rent to the landlord payable to in monthly installments of, right here you're going to want to write in the monthly rent. So let's say the monthly rent is, let's say it's a $1,500 studio in New York City. Oh, sorry, it's going to be over here. Let's say 1,500. Payable in the name of, say payable to Joe Smith. Payments are due on the 1st of every month, beginning on June 1st. All rent payments shall be sent to 230 East 24th Street. Kind of get the gist here. This is going to be the address of the landlord. York, 0. Receive rental payments shall be described as follows. Prorated first month's rent. Say you want to rent the apartment in, if you were to rent the apartment on May, say you wanted to rent the apartment in June, on June 1st, but you just happen to be in the city on May 20th, and you would rather move into the apartment earlier than pay for an over-expensive hotel room, then you'd basically write in here, let's see, May 20th, 2012. Through the end of the month, tenant will pay to the landlord a prorated monthly rent of, say it was $550. Deposits and charges. There's going to be a security deposit. Let's just call it 1 month's rent, security deposit. Usually in a month-to-month, there's not going to be a last month's rent, so you can forget about that one. Rent in advance, you can usually forget about all these things. You have a pet, say a pet deposit of 100. So we're going to click that one. Right here, you're going to write in when you leave the apartment. The tenant usually has about 30 days normally to give you back the security deposit, but it also depends on the state. So you want to check the state rules on that, the state laws. Right here, you're going to charge tenant fee of, let's call it $50 for every day after the due date, which is June 1st, in which the tenant shall pay rent, or you can do a percent. So you just call it 5% fee. The tenant is responsible for the following utility charges. Let's just call it electricity in New York City. All notices made by the tenant to the landlord must be delivered to the following address below. So if you ever have a problem with the apartment, this is where the landlord's address and information will be filled out so you can notify. Disclosures. Tenant agrees to acknowledge and disclosures attached to this agreement by filling in their initials below. State of New York. You want to check these, and if you have any other additional information, disclosures that you want to write in and check. And if any additional amendments to this agreement is described as, if so, write in. And then right here, we're at the last part of the agreement. The landlord is going to print his name, sign, date, as well as the tenant is going to do the same as well. And if there was a licensed real estate agent, broker, or salesperson involved in this transaction, you're going to want to have them print their name, sign, and date as well. And that wraps it all up. Thank you for watching, and I hope this helps.